Thank you, Mayor and Council. I am a settler of European ancestry. I am the Coalition of Progressive Electors Corresponding Secretary, and I'm also a member of their Housing Committee. I am speaking in opposition to this development. The issue of revitalizing Chinatown has been with us for many years. Chinatown has already been saved at least once from the destruction by the proposed destruction by a freeway in the 1960s and 70s, and has more recently been recognized for its heritage value. Unfortunately, the proposed development does not contribute to vitalizing Chinatown. Indeed, it contributes to its demise. First, in height and design. The reason we're having this rezoning is because it does exceed the height that was proposed for this, and I would say that maybe even that was a bit much. And even with the setback of the top 3 stories, it is still out of sync with the Chinese Cultural Center, Sun Yat-sen Gardens, and it dwarfs the memorial to the Chinese railway workers and veterans. Despite the claim to recognize heritage aspects of Chinatown in the architect's drawing, it does not appear to do so, and I think you know you must have a problem when so many people keep referring to it as Yaletown North or other associations with Yaletown. Chinatown is not Yaletown. The second problem is that there are insufficient amenities. There are only 25 units of proposed senior housing, and of that only 8 or 9 are going to be at the lower rate. In addition, the developer for providing this rather meager level of social housing is exempted from DCL requirements and gets to be paid by BC Housing for the use of the second floor. The cultural space for seniors on the ground floor is 1,107 square feet. This is roughly 33 feet by 33 feet, or roughly 10 meters by 10 meters. Imagine you take a reed meter stick and you flip it over 10 times in that direction, and then you flip it over 10 times in that direction. That's your space. It's not very big. While it will provide some space, it is certainly not going to meet the need for cultural space in this community for the future. Now, these might satisfy the city's criteria as they stand now, but I think it's really quite pathetic considering the needs of this community, and especially for low-income housing. It just isn't sufficient. The third problem is gentrification and loss of community. The increase of strata condos in Chinatown, not just this, but some which have already been built and probably others that are being proposed, tends to raise the overall level of the price of housing in Chinatown. I think it would have been better back when you did the rezoning initially if you had provided more space for rental only. We don't need more expensive condos here. We need more rental units, period. Plus the stores that people who traditionally depend on are being displaced by stores catering to higher income people who have traditionally depended on them. Now, I recognize that the developer is providing smaller store space on the ground floor, but even there, as you get more people moving in with higher income, they're going to start demanding designer foods, which aren't what the lower income people here can afford and probably don't even particularly want. Much has been made of the divide between the seniors who spoke in favor and the people who are advocating it against it, particularly when they speak about social housing. They're actually not far apart. Both sides want more social housing. The difference is, do you settle for what is really not enough or do you be bold and push for something better? And finally, this is not a development that adds to either the culture or the community of Chinatown, and I ask you to please reject it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for being here to speak tonight.